In this video, I'm going to explain two very important concepts if you want to scale your real estate business, which is understanding the marketing cycle as well as understanding the lead cycle and where people go wrong, because agents always go wrong in the exact same place and they don't have the right mindset as to why this is happening. And I want to talk to you about how to actually resolve these situations so that you don't have to run into it. So without further ado, let's dive into the two cycles that you need to understand in order to scale your business and how to make sure you don't fall victim into the same nonsense that most agents do. What's up, guys? My name is Mike Sherrard. Thanks so much for tuning in as always, and I'm really excited to break this video down for you. If you don't know who I am, I train thousands of agents every year to scale their business with social media and marketing strategies, and I'm with eXp Realty, and this is my forte in terms of talking about marketing, branding, lead generation, and content. But let's first start with the marketing cycle and talk about where most agents go wrong. So you can see here from a general marketing cycle, you've got awareness, and then you've got engagement. Then once you start to build awareness and engage with people and you start to get some sort of connection there in terms of the like, know, and trust factor, you start to nurture your leads. And then once you've nurtured them enough, you convert the leads. And then after you've converted the leads into clients and fulfilled that obligation in terms of your service, then you need to work on retaining those clients in terms of properly leveraging database. So let's break down where so many people go wrong. A lot of it comes from actually understanding how to market or how to do advertising, which is pay to play, like lead generation, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, and usually the most are kind of talking about Facebook ads. So let's go with that. One of the biggest problems is that a lot of people are running a middle of funnel ad to a cold audience expecting hot results. And you can guess what happens there. You get cold leads with bogus information who don't convert, and you get frustrated because you're not able to get a hold of your leads. So let's unpack why that's one of the biggest things that people struggle with, because usually what happens is when agents want to start doing paid lead generation with Facebook is they go straight to lead generation. And what happens is they skip this part right here, which is building actual awareness. Because again, when you look at a cold audience, top of funnel, which is here, people don't actually know who you are. So if you're going straight, this is like, walking up to a girl in a mall and asking her to marry you. It's not going to happen, right? You're expecting a bottom of funnel result in terms of the outcome, which is marriage, but you're going to a top of funnel audience or person who has no idea who you are, a cold audience, a cold, male or female, and you're hitting them with something that's middle of funnel, right? It's not going to happen, right? So you need to understand how to properly bring people through the cycle of a funnel, and that starts with awareness. And one of the best ways to do that, especially if you're looking at ads, is to do value-driven content using things like brand awareness as a marketing objective on Facebook ads. And the problem here, and this is where most people struggle with, is you are not going to get many leads from this. This is to prime the system, right? But a lot of people struggle with the concept of spending without knowing when they're going to get a return. Whereas if you look at a lot of people, they trust a process that's proven, and you do have to spend some money in order to get in front of people, warm them up, get them to know who you are, and build that awareness. So that when you do start spending money on lead generation going to the middle of funnel, which is down here, you're going to convert at a much higher rate. So it goes with the notion of delayed gratification, but most people struggle because they want to spend money on the perfect ad today that's going to work in every market for every single person in every single city under any condition, and it's going to work amazing forever. It's never going to happen. You have to understand what you're doing. So when you're doing this, you want to, again, make sure you start with the value. Then once you start to get engagement from your brand awareness ads and the value-driven content that you're putting out, like video marketing and video ads, then you want to make sure you nurture. And this is where so many people go wrong, is right here. And they never make it to the point of conversion because they do not nurture. And this comes down to, again, leveraging a CRM. At eXp, we get free access to KV Core, which is absolutely incredible. It's all you need to run your business. But a lot of people are, again, getting all these leads, but not properly nurturing them. And the average lead converts after 7 to 8 touch points. And if you're only contacting them once, you're leaving the majority of your business on the table. And the beauty about leveraging a CRM is that usually it's got pre-built drip campaigns for buyers, sellers, things like that, that you can just set and forget. And it's going to take care of the majority of it for you, obviously with some maintenance involved as well. And the next part that people struggle with actually has to do with this again, which is retain. And this also requires a CRM, because after you convert a lead to a client and service that client, you then have to retain that client. And when I talk about retaining, I mean keeping them in your database and servicing them so that you actually get referrals from that client. And that also requires a CRM. And this is where so many people struggle, because the one thing they need is the two things that are required here, both the CRM. Now let's break down the lead cycle. And this is again where a lot of people struggle, because again, when you start looking at this, we've got advertising and you've got marketing. Two different things. Advertising is pay to play. Marketing is actually free, because it's just value-driven content, right? This is going to be things like your blogs, your audio, your copy, your videos on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, websites, other things like that, based on SEO, right? Intent-based. And advertising is going to be more pay-to-play. And that's actually a good concept that I want to explain here, is when you look at most like Facebook ads, for example, Facebook is an interest-based platform. Whereas if you look at something like Google or YouTube, these are both intent-based. Two very different things here. And let me explain. When people are going on a platform like Facebook, they're just going to browse, chat with their friends, see what's going on the news. They're not going there with the intent of actually getting a property, learning something, finding out a solution, finding an answer. They're going there with interest of just their general interest. When you look at Google and YouTube, based on the fact that they are actually both search platforms, they are heavily predicated on intent-based searches, not interest-based searches. So people are searching for solutions. How-tos, about 70% of searches on YouTube are how-to sell a house, how to move to a certain city, how to relocate, how to stage a property, all things like that. So it's really important to align first with marketing, which is building the foundation, which is free, which is value-driven content that's going to allow people to get to know you. And the best part about value-driven content in terms of marketing is it's evergreen and it gives you leverage. And when I explain these two things, leverage is 1-to-many ratio. And evergreen means that you do it once and it lasts, again, forever if you properly optimize it. Two things that, again, give you scalability to your business that traditional advertising does not. Now, once you've actually built the foundation with your marketing, you start to go to the pay to play, which is lead generation. And that's where, you start to do your Facebook ads, Google ads, and YouTube ads. Now, going back to where most people go wrong, let's dive into that. Part number 1, lead nurture. Again, not using a CRM. And then after you nurture the leads, you convert the leads, fulfill the client's kind of desires in terms of helping them buy or sell a house or invest into real estate, relocate, whatever the situation is. And then again, retain. CRM. So the moral of the story is understanding how to properly leverage the marketing and lead cycle. And this comes down to looking at how consumers actually behave, right? Going from the top, middle, and bottom of funnel, making sure that you actually understand delayed gratification and not having to just spend today and expect results tomorrow, but to invest into your business in terms of the long-term play of building a proper foundation that is scalable. And then leveraging a CRM that's going to allow you to nurture and retain your clients so that the marketing cycle can continue, so that you can continue to, again, invest money into your business. And when you look at the lead cycle, again, just understanding the difference between marketing and advertising, making sure that you're building a proper foundation that's scalable and gives you leverage, and then using a CRM to convert and retain so that you can start the cycle all over. But this is really important to understand, and every agent that I see that's struggling falls victim to the exact same parts, is not understanding the CRM and not following the right structure that's going to allow them to actually convert leads at scale once they actually know what they're doing. So hopefully you found value in this. If you do, please just drop a comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. And thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.